Welcome back here to Mighty Mac on YouTube. Once again, if you guys like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming content. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So qualifying is wrapped up for this weekend's Winternationals. NHRA returns home to Pomona, California for one of the oldest running races on the calendar. And as always with the Winternationals or any race in Pomona, the excitement picked up to another level. As in funny car, we saw an incredible 4 rounds of qualifying to decide the field for Sunday's race, including the missing driver of Bob Task III, who struggled all weekend in qualifying, was entering Q4, needing to make the show alongside the likes of Blake Alexander as well as Buddy Hull, when there was questions on who was going to be the odd man out. This weekend, it is Bob Task III, as Blake Alexander, who barely made it into the show with a 401, was barely able to sneak in as he had to wait on the sidelines as Buddy Hull, Bob Task III, and Jason Rupert were left waiting to make their final pass, meaning Blake was staying on the top end with pins and needles, hoping to make the show. Other highlights as well: Brittany Force, during her round 1 appearance in the Top Fuel All-Star Callout, became the 3rd driver to reach 300 miles an hour at the 8th. As well in Pro Stoc, struggles continue for Elite Motorsports as once again for the 2nd race in a row, only 2 of their drivers made it in the top half of qualifying, with the bottom half being almost entirely of the Elite camp, and at one point looked like the Elite cars might have some of their own drivers go home yet again. And finally, to recap the Top Fuel Callout, Doug Coletta claimed his first callout win of his career, beating Clay Milliken in round number 1 and Antron Brown in round number 2. Without further ado, let's take a look at your qualifying results for this weekend's Winternationals. In Pro Stoc gives a KP Titan top half, as Greg Anderson ended the day once again with number 1 qualifying honors with a 6:49. Matt Hartford tied ET but lost on mile an hour to finish 2nd. Derek Kramer with an impressive run up in 3rd. Aaron Stainfield up to 4th with a 6:51 with a 5. Corey Reed continues to impress people in his sophomore season with a 6:51. Eric Latino back in 6th. Dallas Glenn falls down to 7th with a 6:51 with a 9. He almost had number 1 qualifiers heading into Saturday. And Stephen Bell, who missed the 2nd race last time out at Phoenix, ends in the 8th position. Erica Enders with a struggling start to the season ends 9th. Greg Stanfield in 10th. Cody Coughlin, the only Coughlin in KB Titan powered car, ends 11th. Brandon Foster down in 12th. Troy Coughlin Jr. in 13th. Jeg Coughlin Jr. not too far behind in 14th. Mason McGahey rounds out 15th with a 6:55 with a 4. And Matt Latino makes his first race of the season a 6:53 with a 7, would be the bump. The 3 cars not in the show: Chris McGahey, Kenny Delco, and Joey Gross. In the funny car, it would come down to the final session of qualifying to decide who would be number 1 qualifiers for this Sunday's race. Austin Prague will score his first number 1 qualifiers of the season with a 3:81 with a 6. Paul Lee turned a lot of heads following the performance from the Phoenix race, rounds out 2nd. Ron Capps, running the same chassis that won him the 2023 world title, rounds out 3rd. Jack Beckman ends up in 4th after ending with a chance to have the number 1 qualifying honors. Chad Green rounds out 5th. Cruz Pedregon at Pomona, where he runs so well year in and year out, ends up in 6th. J.R. Todd in 7th, with Matt Hagan rounding out the top half. Down in 9th, you're going to find Alexis Joria. Daniel Wilkerson rounds out 10th. Steven Densham, making his first run of the season, ends up in 11th. Dave Richards, with one of the best runs of his career, qualifies in the 12th position with a 3:95. Jeff Deal rounds out 13th. Spencer Hyde qualifies for his first race of his funny car career in 14th. Bobby Bodie, with a not so good run at 3:97 with an 8, ends up 15th. And Blake Alexander, like mentioned before, will bump his way into the show with a 4:11. As for the 3 cars not in the show, Jason Rupert with a 4:104 is the first car out. Bob Task is a 4:057, ends up 18th, and Buddy Hull, the first car out, in 19th. And in Top Fuel, Brittany Force, with no flaps on the car in all 4 sessions of qualifying, or I should say air deflectors, rounds out 4th with a 3:646. Doug Callout will round out second. Josh Hart with an impressive run at 367 with a 5 rounds out third. Steve Torrance making his second race of the season rounds out fourth. Antron Brown down in fifth. And Justin Ashley in sixth. The other car who did not run with air deflectors. All top 4 or top 6 in qualifying. All drivers did not run with the air deflectors on the car. Tony Stewart down in seventh is the first one who ran all 4 passes without it. Sean Reed ran all 4 passes without, ends up in 8th. Jasmine Salinas, who ran all 4 passes without it as well, ends up in 9th. Sean Langdon down in 10th, also took the deflectors off. Clay Milliken, who had them all on, finishes. Ida Zetterstrom, who had them all off, finishes 12th. Scott Palmer ends up 13th, and Steve Chrisman in a short top fuel field ends up last in 14th. And before we wrap up the video, let's take a look at our highlights courtesy from NHRA on Fox.
Flames are up. Both cars going to make the charge, and at the finish line stripe, it will be Doug Callout, 365.7 with matching 053 lights. Brittany did her part, and you can see a fist pump for Alan Johnson, a man who has had such incredible success here, delivers again.
Doug Callout is your right trailer's all-star call-out winner, and Doug, you did it on a 365. Where did Alan Johnson find that performance?
Yeah, you know, it was there. We were, you know, he's always good here, and I'm very thankful to be driving this car that, you know, Alan's tuning and Connie owns, and obviously this right trailer's belt is pretty cool in this trophy, so just hats off to my team and, you know, Mac and Toyota and everybody that supports this thing. We're pretty excited to finally get something to win.
The 2 cars roll in for points, for money, and for the Mission 2 Fast, 2 Tasty Championship for the weekend, as well as the best qualifying position. Here we go. Sean Langdon once again is ripping down the drag strip, and it is going to be Langdon 366.2 at 338.68. One of the fastest runs, really the second fastest run in Top Fuel history.
And the mojo keeps flowing for Sean Langdon in the all-teammate final round there. You beat him on both sides of it to get the Mission Foods 2 Fast, 2 Tasty challenge here in Top Fuel. What is going on with this team? Why is everything just working right now?
Man, everything's awesome right now. You know, obviously Doug's got a great car. It's awesome, you know, for him to win that call-out yesterday. That's 2 Fast, 2 Tasty wins, all Callout final last week. Not many opportunities you get to run here at Pomona with AJ in that right lane, AJ and Doug in that right lane, and you get the better of them. You know, that's obviously their lane over there. So I trusted my team. You know, Brian and everybody, they told me to go left lane. So it's like, all right, you know, I like our chances. Callout Air Careers, everybody over here at, you know, Toyota and all that. We got a good car. I'm very happy. Jeff's still at home. He's still getting better. Jeff, we're thinking about you. Can't wait for you to come out. Slugger Lobby, I don't know if this is in venue. I'm sure you're on the starting line, but pay up, sucker.
Nothing doing for Paul Lee as Jack Beckman goes down a 383.1 at 330 miles per hour. And Jack Beckman records the very first win in his very first appearance in a Mission 2 Fast, 2 Tasty challenge.
Angel Sampey has got the medallion there to put around the neck of Jack Beckman as he is our winner in the Mission Foods 2 Fast, 2 Tasty Funny Car Challenge. No, that's not happening. You don't have enough money. But you do have a pretty good job of driving that car. 53 on the tree, and you go out there and go 83, and you are 1 for 1 in these Tasty Challenges. You liking these things?
I'm a huge advocate, and Juan Gonzalez for putting this on and for giving the NHRA fans on Saturdays a little extra tidbit to cheer for. That's cool. Forrest told me if you ever forget what to do, look at the car, read the sponsors, it'll talk to you. And then last run they towed the car away, I had nothing left to read, so HendrickCars.com. For Rick Hendrick to have the faith in drag racing, and the same can be said for Graham Rahal. For people that are huge in other forms of racing to bring their dollars over here, John Powers Affordable Homes came on in Phoenix. We're gonna do something awesome with Graham Rahal Performance in Vegas. But this weekend it's for Peak and it's for Chevy. And remember, we still needed to try to run better in qualifying, and we did. This is Disneyland for conditions, and I think it's going to be all day tomorrow. We might see better conditions in the first round tomorrow than we do right now. I don't know. I love our car. Our team, our Peak squad has been doing everything right out here. I'm a huge fan of the Mission Foods 2 Fast, 2 Tasty, Bruno. But listen, if I win tomorrow, can I get a kiss on the cheek from you?
I'll think about it.
I'm in then.
For the points and the money, Mission 2 Fast, 2 Tasty Pro Stoc 5. Matt Hartford was 300ths better than Greg Anderson, and at the finish line stripe, it will be Matt Hartford. 6:49.6 beats a 6:49.9. A great race by 35 thousandths of a second. He's back, baby.
Brand Ambassador Angel Sampé from Mission Foods takes the medallion and is about to put it on the head of Matt Hartford. Guy who goes back-to-back 49s today. You've got a very good car. What a difference a year makes for you and this team as you take home the Mission Foods Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge. What was the change that you guys did in the offseason?
First of all, Jerry Haas builds a great car. Doesn't matter if they're old, doesn't matter if they're new. We just got a good handle on this old car, and it's showing. Second of all, everybody needs to understand Greg Anderson, his entire crew there, they did a phenomenal job over the winter. They built us a ton of power. All these cars got power. Hats off to him. I was a little ticked off. He took over my #1 spot after that last run by 1/10 of a mile an hour. So it's a little, redemption there. But, Steve Bryson, Pat Galvin, everybody at Getrix, I know Scott's here as well. All their friends, family, customers are all here. They came back on board for this one race. This is going back to his shop again like it did a couple years ago. Of course, everybody at Total Seal, Rottler, Rob's, Hose Connection. Without all these people, we couldn't do it. And my crew chief, Eddie, my wife, Amber, and my brother, Adam. We're a small little team. We're an independent team. But it proves if you got heart, you got soul, and you got good power, and you know how to use it, you can win some stuff.
Red light, Greg Anderson and Aaron Stanfield blew the tires off. Greg goes 6:49.0 and on speed moves back around Matt Hartford by 1/10 of a mile per hour. Greg Anderson becomes the new #1 qualifier on a speed tiebreaker. .381, 338 miles per hour. The Proc Rocket lives up to its name. New #1 qualifiers to John Force Racing Chevrolet. It's Austin Proc, 381.6, 338 miles per hour. That is low ET. That is top speed of the event.
Brittany and Justin set to race now. And it's Brittany Force, 364.6 at 334.82 miles per hour. Brittany takes Justin down. Justin Ashley with a 371.3 at 333.66 was 0.27 on the starting line, but couldn't hold down the Brittany Force elapsed time. 3:01.67 to the 8th.
And that is going to wrap up the video. Once again, if you guys like the content, be sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming content. We're going to have a lot of action to recap tomorrow for the Winter Nationals. Be sure to follow me on all social media pages down below at MightyMac03. And until tomorrow afternoon, this has been Mighty Mac, and we will see you next time.